Well, hello friends, and welcome to another video. There is a cat in the office, so if you hear sounds, it's the cat. It's not bone ghosts. Anyway, we have some of our basic corals on, and I just tacked them on lightly with glue, so I have the opportunity to rip them off if I should choose to do so, or I need to, work something in. Also, I have a bunch more of this beautiful velvet coming, so I didn't want to use up all my spaces. However, I am going to start working with some of our exciting embellishments, and let me adjust the camera a little bit to show you those better. So my autism brain has rules about beads. I don't like beads because there's too many. No matter how small of an amount you buy, you have more beads than you need. I even bought the tiniest little thing of blue glow beads, and I still have some. I gave many away to patrons, and I still have some. I rolled up yards and yards and yards and yards of glow thread, and I still have lots of it. So they make me nervous. I don't like buying beads. These ones, however, glow. Where's my UV light? These are our new glow beads that are very glowy, and they glow in different colors too. Some of them glow like these ones all glow green, but some of them glow different from the color that they are on the outside. So we have fun glowy things. We have these, which are treated glass. They look like raku, but apparently this is a process that you can apply to any glass as well as ceramic. So they look like raku, but they are just fire treated. I ordered a lot of these. These were called like irregular ovals or like old-fashioned cabochons, but what they look like to me from far away are tunicate or like sea squirt or bryozoan colonies. And Google all those weird creatures. They look like colonies of those little creatures to me. And then we have perfectly round ones, which is very exciting, and they're color shifty, as you can see. So we have these that we can use as little critters and whatnot. And then in addition to that, we have all these great sequins. In my patron group, I still have a couple of these packs left if you're interested. But in these, there's a wide variety of different flower shapes, which, for instance, we could take a like-colored crocheted or stitched shape and then stuff one of these in the middle in a different color or a like color, and then tack it down with a bead so we can get a bunch of like layered, sorry, my allergies decided to go nuts just now, get a bunch of layered shapes. We have a bunch of just kind of fun reflective colors, which I think is where I'm going to start, and put them up on the flatter rocks that are towards the rear of the picture. And then these are new to me. I had not seen these before, which is why I got them to share with the group. These are hard plastic, like cabochon backed little beads. And so I'm thinking that we can use just those as straight up polyps. Because the scale would be weird if I started putting plate corals in the front. They'd have to stick out to like here to make the ones in the back make sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it does to me. So anyway, we have all these really cool shapes. The ones with the sequins, I probably will do at my desk because that will hurt my back less. But when I get to these ones, where I'm just like laying down little polyp friends, I will do my best to film it. And we have a whole range of different sorts. Iridescent, non-iridescent, different colors. And I do still have some of these available. Maybe one or two left. Anyway. And then, again, more fun sequins for the flat rocks. So, what I think I'm going to do is do the back rock here and here with some blue and green, these two. Because then that will kind of make them visually fade towards the back and disappear more. I am happy with how this part came out, like walking it down off the rocks, so I'm going to continue that. I was thinking we could also take these tubular beads. What do they call these? Bugle? It's not the shape of a bugle. It says bugle. A bugle isn't a straight tube. It's flared on one end. What a ridiculous... don't, I'm sorry, I have a real love of nomenclature, and this is not a bugle shape. Anyway, I'll Google it and see if there's some reason we call these a bugle, but they're not. But what they could be is a tube worm. So I was thinking that in real life, there's little tiny tube worms that will live on your coral reef live rock. I had a reef that was largely made of non-fish. I prefer invertebrates like snails and crabs, to be perfectly honest, and tube worms. But I was thinking we could take some of the fuzzy stuff, fabulous fibers stuff that I have, and if we just pull a bunch of strands of it through and make kind of like a turkey stitch poof coming out of the end of it, it will look a bit like a firecracker, but B, perhaps like a tube worm. So anyway, we have some ideas to test out. A bad cat who's going to get in trouble because she's scratching at things that she shouldn't. And glow everything. We also have glow specialty thread, which I suppose I could have introduced in the last one, but we have 33 million yards of this apparently. And until we're rid of it, we'll be making up projects to use it on. So let's get started. I'll be back when there's some sequins here and here to my satisfaction. And then we will work on some polyps, I think, or some of our, she's literally rolling a ball. I am going to also go berate a cat. All right. See you in a minute. Ready, break. All right, so here is where I ended up after my first pass. Initially, I put quite a bit of them on here. You can see where I have not trimmed off the last, or stitch ripped out the last of that thread. It's fine. I tried some layering techniques. I hated all of it. And I decided that I was not really ready to commit to anything on the rocks. So I went back in direction and I went with just adding them as light effects and putting them all around the edges. Sorry, I had to remove a cat from the room. And I think that that was wise. I used the same single strand of thread that matched the color that I put the fabric down with, so that they'd kind of blend. And I went for more rainbow effect in the lightest areas and tried to more match the color of the fabric, at least in one of the flashes in the edges. So I think I'm happier with that. Now, oh, I just dropped some of the beads. Good Lord. We have more beads available, including our little sea squirt ones, which I think are going to be great. Also had some more get delivered today. We don't need to talk about it. Yes, I spent $60 in the middle of the night. It's fine. We needed all of these. It was important to the artistic process. We needed the full color range. Look how much nicer these are going to blend in because they're like a rock color. I don't want to talk about it. It was, I can't be set loose in the night. All right. Anyway, so I'm specifically looking for these ones. That's why we're still talking about this. But I want to make these into like an urchin, maybe cruising over here. That would also require me to make something for the urchin to eat, which would probably be in the form of an algae of some sort. Sea urchins are the main reason that the kelp beds off the coast of California are completely decimated. They got out of control, and then people thought they were helping by smashing them. But if you leave any part of the central disc of any echinoderm, which includes sea stars and brittle stars and sand dollars and also sea urchins, those are all the echinoderms. There's more, but those are the main group of them. Anyway, if you leave any part of the mouth disc there, they will regrow a whole new body. And so every time they were smashing one sea urchin, they were making like 500 more. At least 5 more, because that's how many plates, mouth plates they have. Anyway, so they've decimated a population. Most sea urchins eat algae, or kelp, whatever it happens to be, but they're grazers. So we can have grazers in our reef, and I thought that these really tiny, it looks like raku firing. I know it's not. I don't know how the glass process is done. We have those, and we have some of these fun, weird little polypy doodly things. And then I was thinking that if I took, where'd it go? One of these cups, here's what I'm thinking. If I take one of these cups of the like little flower cup, and then I shove my needle up through the, for pity's sake, get a flap and, thank you. No, I have too many. Don't need all of you. Anyway, what I was thinking is if I set it down like that, on edge perhaps, get you a little nearer, and then I shove my needle up the hole, and then I use my tiny, tiny glow beads, I could make little armbas for an urchin. Why? Why must you stick together? Everything about tubed beads is horrible. It upsets me and scares me the whole time. Anyway, so what I'm thinking is, now there's a cat yelling. I just cannot win today. So I'm thinking if I have the little, you know, anemone arms coming out of there, it might look fun. We also have a more spiky flower option, which I think might be more to my liking. The likelihood of me getting it out of there is low. Should have brought a tweezer, apparently. How about a crochet hook? Will that help? Not really. Well, maybe. So if I had it sitting like there, ooh, I kind of like it right there. All right, we might put one right there. But then if I have little bead tentacles coming out of it, that might be fun. Kind of just like that. Well, anyway, I've shown you the options. We have those. We have these. I don't know what to say about that. And we have these, which I think look like little deep sea fish eyeballs. But they could also be a bubble anemone or some sort of strange bubbly creature. Anyway, let's try and stitch a couple of those down. Even if I stick with just the flower, I can still use a glowy bead in the middle of it. Do you reflect anything? You just look kind of cool and bright, which is fine. Some of these are very UV reactive, which will be fun. That one just kind of lights up. But we could shove a glow bead in the middle. All right, well, I will try to record some of this since I did not record any of the sequins. And we will continue on this embellishment adventure. I don't want to go too crazy because I want it to develop slowly, because that's kind of the whole point. But also, I would like to do it. Maybe we don't have to make all of them into anemones. We can just make some of them into anemones. Some of them can be dormant, as though they have just eaten. That's more detail than any of you need to know. All right, well, let's begin before I just talk to myself for another 2 to 3 hours.